Graham.
This is beyond the call of duty, isn't it?
What?
Make yourself at home.
I was in seeing another patient as I was passing.
Sorry, I can't offer you any coffee. It's strictly off the dial sheet.
How's it going?
You're telling me you don't know?
Well, I've just had a chat with your consultant.
What did he tell you? Transplant or curtains?
Something like that.
Ironic, isn't it? 5 years ago, Mary was in this very hospital.
Yeah, I know.
Looks like history's going to repeat itself.
Graham, we need to talk about your options.
I'm sick of talking. You know, sometimes I'm tempted to pull the plug. Oh, what's the point of all this? There's no life.
You mustn't give up hope.
I've been on that waiting list for 2 years.
Graham?
That's all right. I know what you're going to say. That's why you came here, isn't it?
Why don't you get in touch with Belinda?
That should sort you out. If it doesn't do the trick, come back and see me. Was there something else?
Actually, yes. I want to talk to you about Mum.
Lily? Is she all right?
I'm worried about her. I think she's going mad.
Belinda's your closest living relative. You need a kidney transplant, and she's the best chance you've got of a perfect match.
Pointless. She won't even speak to me.
Have you tried to contact her?
No.
Well, you might be surprised. She might have been waiting all this time for you to pick up the phone.
I doubt it.
I have seen family feuds go on for years because no one would make the first move.
How can I after all this time? It looks as if I'm only trying to contact her because I need something. Seems so selfish.
Might be selfish not to.
What do you mean?
Don't you at least owe her the opportunity? What if she finds out and it's too late?
Basically, she's spending money like it's going out of fashion.
Well, what on?
Frivolous things. Clothes. Going to the hairdressers, which is unheard of.
But hardly a sign of madness.
She cashed in some shares last week and bought herself a car.
Well, good for her. Perhaps she deserves a little luxury.
She can't drive.
Ah.
And she doesn't understand. She can't start eating into her investments like that or she'll have nothing left to live on. She's never understood money. After Dad died, I had to do everything. Pay all the bills, collect her pension, even pay the milkman. But all of a sudden, she's decided she wants to do it all.
And perhaps she feels it's time she stood on her own 2 feet.
She's not fit to look after her own finances. She's 83. She's never had to pay a bill or write a check in her life. Dad or I've always done it for her.
I see. So, where do I fit in?
Sometimes I just lie here and I drift off. Then I open my eyes and I see her standing at the door. Of course, I'm not properly awake. It's only a dream. We used to be so close. Me and my little girl. I miss her so much.
I'm sure she misses you too.
No. No, she'll never forgive me.
Why don't you give her the chance?
What if she doesn't want to know? I don't think I can face that.
One way to find out.
Oh, I wouldn't know what to say. I wouldn't know where to begin. Would you talk to her for me?
What?
Oh, I can't do it. I know that. You said yourself it was my only chance.
Emotional blackmail.
You could explain things better to her. But all that medical stuff.
Yeah, maybe.
At least if I've got power of attorney, I can make sure her bills are paid properly and she doesn't spend more than she can afford to. But she won't even discuss it. She just tells me I'm interfering.
You can't force her to give it to you.
I can, if I have her certified.
You really think she's that bad?
Dad left her comfortably off, but it's not a bottomless pit. If she carries on the way she is, she'll have nothing left. She's out of control.
I'm not sure there's a case.
Perhaps this will help you make up your mind.
Betting slips.
Horse racing. She's never gone horse racing in her life.
She certainly is having fun, isn't she?
This isn't funny, Doctor. I really think you should take it seriously.
Mac.
Morning.
You got a minute?
30 seconds.
I'll make it quick then, shall I? What do you know about power of attorney?
What's a can of worms? I'd keep out of it if I were you.
Too late.
What do you mean?
Lily Anderson? Her daughter reckons she's not fit enough to look after her own finances.
Well, she's getting on a bit.
I know. But I think Kay's more worried about her own inheritance than anything.
Money brings out the worst in people. Socrates.
So how do I decide whether she's capable or not?
Yeah, well, that's the tricky bit. Can be a very fine line.
Oh, great.
Well, go and see her. Try and work out her state of mind. I'll back up any decision you make.
I can see this turning very nasty. Kay's definitely got the bit between her teeth.
But you could get Lily to consider handing over power voluntarily. If it's a grey area, it might be a much better option than having her certified.
You're lucky to have caught me in. I was just off house.
Sorry I'm a bit late. You look very smart.
I'm going to the races. Are you a betting man?
No, just a flutter on the Grand National. Didn't know you were one for the GGs.
Oh, don't worry. I never bet more than I can afford to lose. Come in. I'm just waiting for my lift.
Hiya.
Hi, come in.
Thanks for agreeing to see me.
Mum always thought the world of you. And I appreciate everything you did for her.
Well, actually, I've come to talk to you about your dad.
It's your daughter. She's been very worried about you.
And I'm very disappointed in you. You were very good to me after Brian died. I thought I could trust you.
You can.
You're here to spy on me, aren't you?
I promise you I'm not.
What does Kay want to do? To put me in a home, I suppose.
Of course not. She's just not sure you can cope.
She doesn't want me to cope. She wants me to rely on her for the rest of my life. I want to stand on my own 2 feet. I'm sick of all this interference. I can manage myself, thank you.
I want you to know I'm on your side. I'm not going to force you to do anything you don't want to do, but we need to have a little chat.
I know what all this is about. It's about money, isn't it?
He's in what we call end-stage kidney failure. He's on dialysis in the hospital, and he's unlikely to come out again unless we can arrange for a transplant.
I suppose that's why you've come to see me, is it?
Well, you're his closest living relative. You have a better chance of matching than anyone, and living donated transplants are the most successful. He could live a full life again. Mind you, there's a long way to go before we can start thinking about that. And I do know you and your dad aren't on speaking terms.
No. So I don't see that there's any point in carrying on this conversation.
You have been spending a lot of money lately, haven't you?
Well, that's not a crime, is it?
No, but can you afford it?
I don't see that it's any of your business.
All I want to do is make sure you understand the implications and give you some impartial advice.
I just want to have a bit of fun. I've been grieving Brian for 3 long years, and I've realised that life is not a rehearsal.
No, I know, but you need to be sensible. And if you're not used to dealing with your own finances...
You can't take it with you.
Lily, you could live for a long time yet. You carry on spending at this rate, and you won't have anything left to live on.
Is that what Kay's told you?
Imagine she's right. Unless you won the lottery lately and haven't told anyone.
No.
Dad and I watched Mum go from a healthy, happy woman to her grave in the space of 12 months. It was the worst experience of my life.
But you had each other.
Had.
So what went wrong?
Roberta. She was Mum's best friend. She was great to us all the way through. She went to visit Mum when we had things to see to, brought food round when we couldn't face cooking. She even organised the funeral tea.
You were lucky to have her there. Take off some of the pressure.
Yeah. Yeah, we were very grateful to her. It was just when she was still being helpful 6 months later that the penny dropped. She hadn't been doing it for Mum. It was Dad she was after. When I confronted them about it, the truth came out. While Mum had been in bed dying, they'd been having an affair. I was so shocked. I just couldn't believe they could have betrayed Mum like that. So I told Dad. Told him it was either me or Roberta. He went ahead and married her.
Lily, do you know what giving someone power of attorney means?
No.
It means handing over your finances to a third party. They look after your money for you, make sure it's managed properly, and they pay your bills.
Oh.
And they give you an allowance to live on. And if you need anything over and above that, you discuss it with them.
I wouldn't want Kay to have control over my money. She's had control over my life for long enough.
It doesn't have to be her.
No?
It can be anyone you feel you can trust.
Oh, really?
It's entirely up to you at this stage. Well, at least think about it. It could be for the best in the long run.
Oh, that'll be my driver.
Oh, well, I won't keep you. I know you want to get off.
No, you stay. I want you to meet him.
So how could he have an affair?
I'm not trying to make excuses for what happened, but Roberta was a widow. She knew what it was like to lose someone you loved. I think he needed her. It's not easy watching someone you love die.
I know that.
Yeah. Well, I suppose your dad felt he could turn to Roberta. He wouldn't want to burden you and your mum, would he? And look, I think their relationship, affair, came out of her giving support, understanding, taking away some of the pain.
Did you know about all this?
No. But looking back at it now, I think she gave your dad the strength to cope with your mum dying.
So you think I should forgive him?
Hey, that's got to be up to you. But you're his last chance.
Do you mean he's going to die?
If he doesn't get a transplant, yeah.
Ken advised me on what sort of a car to buy. I wouldn't have known where to start.
We got her a beauty too, and at a very good price.
I know. Why don't you show Dr. Mystery and I'll run upstairs and get my things?
Certainly. Would you like to take a look?
Sure.
I don't have the right or the inclination to put you under any pressure. But I do want you to be in full possession of the facts.
So what would it involve?
I'd introduce you to the transplant team at the hospital. You'd need counselling first, because they'd want to be absolutely sure you were happy about the donation. They would take you through the whole procedure, explain the medical implications for you and your dad.
I don't know what to think.
Well, you might not be a suitable match, in which case the decision's out of your hands anyway.
How do we find out?
I can do a quick test at the surgery. Then if you are the right blood group, you can go to the hospital for tissue matching.
How long would it take?
I can have the results back this afternoon. He's very ill, Belinda. If you are going to make a decision, we don't have much time.
It's a 1952 Standard Vanguard 1A, and it motors like a dream. Well, I worked in the factory myself for over 10 years, so there's nothing going on underneath this bonnet that I don't know about.
It's fantastic.
Yeah, Lily loves it. Says it makes her feel like a princess. It's a sound investment, too. It will keep its value. I mean, not like these modern motor cars. They start losing you money the minute you drive them out of the showroom.
Tell me about it.
Yes, well, I've done a fair bit of restoration work on it for her, so she should get £1,000 more than she paid if she wanted to sell.
It's a better return in the building society.
Exactly. That's precisely what I told her.
If it'll make it easier for you, your dad doesn't have to know.
He doesn't.
No.
Good. Because I wouldn't want him to think I'd forgiven him or I was condoning what he'd done.
I promise you, everything will be confidential.
Okay. As long as he doesn't find out, I'll do it. But I'm not doing it for him. I'm doing it for Mum. Because I know it's what she would have wanted.
Well, what do you think?
It's gorgeous.
I don't mean the car, I mean Ken.
He seems very nice. Is there something you want to tell me, Lily?
Well, I met him at the day centre, where I sometimes have my lunch. His wife died 3 years ago, about the same time as Brian. And we've been going out together, you know, to lunch and to the pictures and to the races. And he's lovely.
Well, I'm very happy for you.
You don't think he's too young for me?
No, not at all. Anyway, it's very fashionable having a toy boy.
Oh. Do you think he'd be trustworthy?
Come and see me before you make any decisions.
Yes, I will.
I take it your daughter doesn't know anything about Ken.
Oh, no, I don't think she'd be very pleased. She's very possessive.
Well, perhaps if you told her, she might not worry so much.
Maybe it's time she knew the truth. You can tell her when you report back.
You're making me out to be something I'm not.
Oh, rhesus negative, same as your dad.
What do we do now?
Well, we can go for a tissue test right away. Or you can call it a day.
What do you think I should do?
Oh,
You think I should, don't you? As you wouldn't have come to find me.
all I will say is you've got a better chance of being a match than he has of getting a donor. And if he doesn't get a transplant, he will die.
Okay. I'm ready.
I went to see your mum, and I can see why you were concerned. But in my opinion, she certainly doesn't need certifying.
In your opinion?
Well, my professional opinion.
I'm sure Mum only told you what she wanted you to know.
We are trained to see further than that.
Well, that's it then. She's just going to carry on spending till the whole lot's gone.
I'm sorry I'm a doctor. There's nothing else I can do.
Surely you can see it from my point of view. I'm out of my mind with worry. I just wish there was a rational explanation for the way she's behaving.
Well, actually, there is.
What?
Your mum's got herself a new friend.
What sort of friend?
They're on the stockholders, and they're off. And they're off first time to a pretty good break with 22
Right, okay, Lil.
Ken, there's something I want you to do for me.
Well, anything, you know that.
Well, Dr. Mystery thinks I ought to hand my affairs over to somebody else to deal with. Give them power of attorney.
Oh, yes.
He thinks I ought to find somebody that I can trust. Somebody who would have my best interests at heart.
I see.
And I can't think of anybody more suitable than you.
Me?
Well, you know all about money and interest rates and stocks
Oh,
and
I
shares.
don't know, Lily. I mean, that's a big responsibility.
Well, I don't know anybody else I can trust. Would you think about it?
Well, it certainly explains all the clothes. And the trips to the hairdressers.
She's the happiest I've seen her in a long time. So surely it's money well spent.
You mean to say you're condoning this relationship?
Well, it's not actually any of my business.
This is ridiculous. I'm going to get a second opinion.
Oh, that's your prerogative.
For her own protection. Whoever this man is, he's obviously only interested in her for her money.
Well, he's not the only one then.
I beg your pardon.
Well, you don't seem to care about your mother's happiness. Only her bank balance.
I'll be writing an official letter of complaint. And I'll be moving surgeries.
Fine.
Now, someone from the transplant unit will come and talk to you. Might put you in touch with someone who's been through it all before.
Where is Dad?
He's upstairs in the renal unit.
He doesn't know about any of this, does he?
No, no one's going to say anything to him until we get the test results back. Don't want to raise his hopes, do we? And if you do decide to go ahead, he'll have to have tests too. make sure he's fit enough for the operation.
How long has he got if he doesn't have the transplant?
I don't know. But his consultant's coming along in a minute. You'll be able to talk to him. So, do you want a coffee while you're waiting? Cup of tea?
No. Do you know, I don't know what I want the results to be. If I am a match, I don't know if I'll be able to go through with it.
Belinda, no one is going to rush you, okay?
I may have fallen out with Dad and I don't want to see him, but I don't want him to die.
£30 on nothing lost and 22 on Frog's Eye. I think we ought to go out and get ourselves a nice fish supper.
Lily, I've been thinking about what you asked me earlier and, well, I can't do it.
Oh, Ken, why ever not?
Well, you know what people are like, you know what nasty small minds they have. If you gave me power of attorney, they'd start saying I was only after you for your money, and I don't ever want to be accused of that. You see, you mean a lot to me, Lily. I mean, you changed my life. Before you came along, everything seemed so bleak. Well, there didn't seem much point, to be honest.
Oh, I know exactly what you mean, Ken. Every day seems like a grey day when you lose somebody you love, doesn't it?
Yes, well, my days are rosy now. I look forward to getting up in the morning just to be with you. So, you see, I've got something to ask you. And I don't expect you to answer straight away.
Did the consultant come and see you?
Yeah, my tissue wasn't a good enough match, so there's no point in going any further.
I know. I'm very sorry.
It's funny. I don't know how to feel, relieved or disappointed.
Your dad doesn't need to know. And we didn't raise his hopes, did we?
No. What will happen to Dad now?
He'll stay on dialysis. We'll look for a donor.
Will he be able to come out of hospital?
I doubt it.
I can't. Not if I'm your doctor as well. It wouldn't be ethical for me to have power of attorney. But I'm very flattered to be asked.
Well, I'll have to find someone soon.
Well, I guess the best person to speak to would be your solicitor.
You see, Ken wants everything sorted out as soon as possible.
Does he? Why?
Well, he doesn't want anybody to think that he's marrying me for my money.
Are you getting married?
As long as I get my affairs sorted out first, yes.
Well, I'll certainly help you do that. Congratulations. He's a very lucky man.
Oh, thank you.
Dad?
Belinda.
Dad, I'm sorry.
Oh, that's all right.
Can you forgive me?
There's nothing to forgive.
But we've wasted so much time.
It's okay. You're here now. That's all that matters.
Dr. Mystery,
Yes?
I want to apologise for being so rude to you earlier. I was a bit shocked.
Well, I guess it's understandable.
How serious is it? Mum and this man.
Well, they seem very happy.
Well, I'm very pleased for her.
Are you?
I gave up a lot for my mother. In the 3 years since Dad died, I've done everything for her. Taken her shopping, done her laundry, had her over for Sunday lunch every week. If she wanted to go anywhere, I'd drive her. But I didn't mind. It was my duty as her daughter.
Well, I guess we will have to make sacrifices in life.
I was in a relationship, you know. We were due to get married. But Mum took up more and more of my time. He gave me an ultimatum. Him or her. I sacrificed everything for Mum. My happiness. And now it seems I'm not allowed to share in hers. Now she's found someone else.
I'm sorry.
She's been my life for the past 3 years, and now I've got nothing. But if you're sure Mum's doing the right thing, then that's good enough for me.
I think she is.
Good. Now maybe I can get back to my own life. See if I get a second chance, too.
I'm sorry it didn't work out.
It's okay. You know, it doesn't really matter. Having my daughter back means more than anything to me. Thanks, Mac.
Just doing my job.
You've never just done your job. You know, I'm ready now. If the worst comes to the worst, I don't think I could have gone without saying goodbye to Belinda.
You mustn't give up hope.
I'm tired, Mac. Even if the opportunity for a transplant arose, I don't think I could go through with it now.
Well, maybe you'll think differently when the time comes, eh?